Oh, no, he didn't.
Girl, yes, he did.
Happy 2022.
Yeah, it's 2022.
Happy New Year. Welcome
Happy
back.
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Our 3-year anniversary. For oh no, he didn't. Girl, yes. Him did. And what's crazy is to know that it's been 3 years. So much has happened in the 3 years for both us individually, collectively. We know for our listeners and viewers, so much has happened for you in these 3 years. Obviously, when we started this, there was no such thing as a little pandemic. So now we're talking about dating, mostly in a pandemic for the past 2 years. And I actually want to just add something from the beginning. First of all, make sure don't forget you can get behind the scenes, dish, and access by joining us on Patreon. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, share the podcast, comment, like, link, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. But if you don't know or you don't remember, this podcast was inspired in February 2019 because the man I was dating at that time broke up with me via text while I was on the air doing the news. And when I would tell people that story, they would be like, oh, no, he didn't. Girl, yes, he did. And my beautiful friend here and I were working together and I was telling her what happened. And I wrote him this really long email. And then I decided not to send it to him. And my friend said, okay, you're not going to send it to him, but I don't know if this is a book, a letter, or something. And it became the podcast. So if you don't know, that's how we came to do this. That is why it was a real breakup that was kind of ridiculous. And if you go back and listen to our first episode, the audio is horrible, but it was just a phone call we recorded to just get started.
Correct.
I say all that to say that I believe since the last time we were together, that person has apologized.
Okay. And I guess we didn't record that or talk about that, huh?
I don't think we did. I think we're on hiatus. So
Okay.
that was like the end of like October, right?
October, yeah.
Of 2021.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh. I'm pretty sure. Our memories are bad, so
our memories are horrible, and I apologize.
But I do remember that incident. I just didn't know if we had talked about it. And
Right. I don't think we talked about it, but I can't remember. So y'all, if we talked about it, we're insane. We don't remember anything from last year. But I did want to say that I did see that person who inspired this podcast last year, and that person did apologize for doing that way. My friend here was very underwhelmed and unimpressed. I may have been a little bit buzzy and kind of was trying to punish him. And she was like, girl, he just wants you to talk to him. He don't even care what you're saying. So anyway, he said, can we be friends? And I was like, I don't know. Right. But I was like, cool, whatever. We're good. And never heard from him again.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we did share that with our Patreon family. Now that I think about it, because I remember us talking about in detail, like how you were upset with me.
I was upset with you because you weren't upset.
Not caring.
That's exactly
enough to talk to him at all.
So the person who inspired this podcast has apologized. It only took 2.5 years and it literally doesn't matter. All right. Also moving forward, you may have seen your girls and you might be listening to our voices on the podcast and you might not even know what we look like, but I've been seeing us on TV like,
girl.
Like, I don't know if y'all been seeing us on TV, but we kind of
all through the channels.
We're kind of famous. So we just wanted to make usually if you're famous, you don't have to make the announcement that you're famous, but we're kind of famous.
Yeah, we just, this is a new age famous thing. So we just announced it. Hey, we're famous. We're on TV all over the nation. Literally. Deal with it.
So thank you guys for growing with us. And you can tell people you knew us when. So we want to clear that out. But if you have not, you can go to our Sonic. We're in Sonic commercials. I don't even know if we shared that on the Facebook page for the podcast. Y'all, listen, we just getting back into the swing of things. But happy Valentine's Day. Happy anniversary. We hope you are somewhere loving yourself if you ain't found nobody to love. And we're going to talk about our forecast for ourselves. Our last episode on the main page was our wrap up. And we gave ourselves grades for 2021. Right. And now we're into 2022. And honestly, for us to be so new into the new year, we both have very new perspectives and ideas of how the year could look. Correct. So you go first.
Okay. So when we last met, I gave myself a grade for my dating for the year 2021. And I believe I gave myself a B-.
Okay.
And it was mainly because I was not successful. I did not have anyone at the end of the year after dating a couple of people in the middle. And I think but my overall happiness kept me from failing
Mm-hmm.
because I was satisfied with it.
Right.
So this year, my goal by the end of this year is I want to grade myself an A by December of this year.
So you're forecasting an A.
Yes.
And you're basing this off of, even though you didn't give yourself a bad grade last year, but you don't think you were successful, this A is based on you feeling like you will be successful in that quest.
Yes, it's a big hope. I don't know. Obviously, I can't forecast the future, but it's a hope. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there, and I might write it down. They say,
okay,
yeah, I'm going to manifest it. So, yeah, that's my goal, is to grade myself with an A at the end of the year. I think if I had to come up with an overall theme for dating for me, is going to be one of openness, like just being open to love and open to receive love. I think I may be open to love. I don't know which one I struggle with more. We'll dive into that later. But yeah, I think I just, the openness of it all.
I would say for you to say that, I think that's big, because I think historically I've been the one that's been more open to,
right,
okay, whatever. And you've been kind of more like, I don't think so, I'm good.
Yeah.
And so we may,
and it could be an age thing. It could be an age thing for me.
Getting older.
Yeah, I'm getting older, and I'm realizing that, it's like every day you realize that what you thought love looked like, what you thought relationships look like, they don't look like that. And we can tell ourselves all day, there's no fairy tale and stuff like that. But, I still had that idea, ingrained in me of what I wanted it to look like. And that's where the openness comes from. Because, love doesn't always look the same for everybody. So I want to be open for the love that's for me.
I don't think love can look the same for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because even, let's say, if we're just talking about families, when your grandma passes away, everybody want to tell you about their dead grandma, but that wasn't your grandma.
Yes.
And I love mine differently than you love yours. Doesn't mean more or less. It just means each love is different. A mother's love for her children is different for each child, not more or less, but you just love everything differently. I love my dogs differently from each other. I know which one you don't like, which one of my dogs. But anyway, and so that's exciting for me in watching your development as a young woman. We were having a conversation recently, and I remember very clearly you said, I'm damn near 40. And not that that's old, but we sometimes don't feel like we're ready to do the things that we've seen adults do. And you're like, when would I start feeling like an adult over here? Because I'm damn near 40.
Yes, I see people sending their children to school. Some of them going to college now that are my age. And I'm like, y'all are really living life as full-blown adults. And I am not.
Grown-ups. You're like, did your mama say that was okay? Did somebody sign for you to do that? And we're out here running businesses, owning home, traveling. But something about relationships, we were like, I ain't ready for that.
Yeah. Like, I don't think anybody ever is ready, fully.
No, I think everybody's ready for that.
But you adapt to that, lifestyle once you get there. I
think everybody's ready for this, dear. I just want to point that out.
Everybody's ready for what?
Everybody is ready. You talk about, can you ever be ready? I'm like, yeah, everybody on your timeline, they was ready.
I feel like people try to plan things out and stuff. Like, people tell you all the time, like, I didn't know how I was gonna pay for these kids, but they came and I just made it work. Whatever happened. So, So as we progress through the podcast episodes, we're going to dive into the openness that you are looking forward to. Some of it you've already challenged yourself to do. And that's the fun thing about this podcast is we really don't know what each episode is going to be week by week. So one week we might be saying, girl, I'm in love. And the next week we'll be like, boy, bye. It really just depends on the temperature, like what we feel, what we experience in those 6 days in between the days that we record. Like, we don't know.
Miss a day, miss a lot. So I'll be excited to witness this journey you're on. My journey for 2022. So I cannot remember what grade I gave myself last year, but I'm assuming it was somewhere in A.
I think you said B+. Did
I say B+?
I think you said.
Last year,
insert it.
Last year, 2021, I attempted to date seriously. Several occasions, at least 2.5 chances. And when I say date seriously, I mean men that on paper seemed like I could build a life or a future with. And so I made the energy and the effort and the time to do that in 2021. None of those materialized into anything that we will be talking about moving forward, but I'm excited because 2022, I have decided to take a little bit of a break. And by little bit of a break, I mean, I'm taking the year off because personally, I lose my focus when I'm trying to date in that way. And that's a my issue. That doesn't have anything to do with the guy. Insert guy here. I'm naturally not going to try to fill my calendar up with work or things I need to do because I want to be available and accessible. And so last year, I feel like I don't feel like I missed a whole lot of opportunities for myself, but I also know I wasn't as focused or as energized for them. And so now, so far this year, realizing and renewing my focus on my career and the things I really want to accomplish, I'm excited about knowing that will be my focus this year. Now, with that caveat being said, it does not mean I've sworn men off.
Mm-hmm. And that was going to be my next question.
No, doesn't mean I've sworn men off, but I've already met. I guess since I decided I'm not dating, I've met men. You know how that works. Like now that I'm like not dating, I've met men. And I just tell them, we can hang out or whatever, but I'm just not interested in dating. And then they all ask, well, what does that mean? I say, it just means I'm not making myself available to anyone in that way. I'm not making myself accessible. I'm not looking for anyone this year. No one needs to look for me this year. If we hang out, we hang out. If we don't, we don't. I'm not looking for a cadence of communication, an attachment to a meeting. So you want to say it. And it's interesting because for me to be single for 30 plus some odd years and never engaged and never betrothed and never overly in a monogamous committed relationship, now that I've told a man that I'm not dating this year, I'm amazed at the disappointment and disdain I have received. And I want to say, boy, bye. Because if I was somewhere trying to like you be someone acting like I was bothering you. Now when I say I'm not doing that right now, oh, well, what if you just met somebody and the vibe, no. I love to say if my auntie had balls, she'd be my uncle. No, we're good. I said, meet me back next year. So I've already told a couple of guys, hey, hit me up next year. And if you think you want to pursue me next year, I will be open and available to that. But this year, man, I've already had so much fun. And obviously a lot of it is because it has been Eunice focused and centered. It hasn't been, oh, well, when I see him, or, oh, when am I going to talk to him? Or, oh, when are we going to do this? I haven't had any of that. And so it has really cleared up a lot of things for me. One of the things that I feel like I'm excited about this year, but I also want to say, just because I'm not pursuing a relationship this year does not mean we will not have content, because it's like
hardly.
Like I said, the stories I can already tell y'all. But what I already realized, and I realized in the vibration of it all, right? So I'm big into vibrations. I'm vibrating higher now than I was last year when I was dating people, right? And so if the goal is to date and to partner and have a companion, you would hope that's what would raise your vibration. And I don't know how much of it is unique or personal to me that I tend to lower my vibration, or my vibration is lowered when I'm in those scenarios or situations. But since I've been on a high vibration, even looking back to just a few weeks or months ago, when it was 2021 and I was dating, I realized that for me personally, I had to operate in an alternate universe. I had to operate in a space that I really didn't believe in and wasn't authentic to me, because to engage with the men that I was dating and the issues we will always have, and my issues, I mean, the only issues would be they wouldn't make themselves available ever.
Right.
And when I say ever, I mean, like, y'all, I'm not even saying that I'm trying to see anybody every week, every 2 weeks, once a month, maybe. And there was always an issue. And so what I realized that last year, part of my lack of focus or excitement for myself last year was because I had to believe in this alternate universe where I was not deserving of the time or the effort or return phone calls.
Yeah.
The plan. And so to engage,
you had to buy into it in order to get through the relationship. To cope with the relationship, you had to buy into that.
And who's doing that? No. Okay.
And it's sad because so many of us do it even without thinking about it. I mean, I'm glad you saw it. You called yourself out on it.
Outside of it though, right? Because I tried. Right. I'm trying.
But, yeah, exactly. So it's just like that is not a good place to be. when you have to do that, because that's why that lowers your vibrations.
It lowers your vibration for yourself.
Because
it lowers the vibration in the connection. So they're probably not even getting to know the amazing, wonderful, fabulous woman you are, because you have to lower the vibration even
right. And the things that you have going on outside of the relationship are obviously going to be affected by that.
100%.
You're looking at yourself differently in this new space, in this alternate reality, and you're not thriving in other areas of your life as a result.
At all.
Yeah.
It can be something as simple as a disagreement or a lack of, I don't even know if I got into disagreements, just a lack of communication. That can alter the whole next 24 to 48 hours, just how you feel. You don't feel like sending that email for work. You don't feel like walking the dog. You don't, it affects how you feel, all of that stuff, at least for me. Energetically, it affects me in a way that's not positive. And I'm going to spend this year figuring out, how can I make myself accessible and available to a potential companion or partner without giving away too much of myself? And in saying that, I don't want to be in a connection and be holding back, because I have no reason to want to pursue something that I'm not bringing myself. But that's a Eunice thing that I need to figure out. How can I make space for somebody in my life and keep my vibration for myself? And I think I'll figure that out through some things I'm already started doing this year.
Right. Cool.
And when I say I already started doing this year, those are on future episodes, but I've already started doing this year. You gotta stay tuned to figure out what I've already been doing this year. But you might notice that she's glowing. So she doing something. So we hope you guys continue to join us on this journey. We would love to hear what you have decided to pursue differently this year.
Please tell us, please
tell us, because you might spark some ideas for us. I don't think I actually made New Year's resolutions this year, but I did make a concerted effort and choice to say, this is a year that I will be happy and vibrating at a high level for a minimum of the next 365 days. Minimum this year is a gift to me. And I owe myself that peace.
Amen.
PEACE for this episode. PIECE for future episodes. All right. That's called a tease. Hey, get it.
That's hilarious.
Just owe myself this piece. Talk about it with your pastor. All right. Now, don't forget, subscribe to us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can become a Patreon member. And what Patreon gets is we do these beautiful episodes every week. We talk to you about what we're going through. And obviously, we give y'all all the authentic stuff. But with Patreon, they get the stuff we don't be wanting our mamas to know. Is your mama still on Patreon?
Even though my mama on Patreon.
I was going to say, we need to block your mama from Patreon. Thanks for the support, mama. We love you. All right, now, happy 2022. Happy Valentine's Day. Love, love, love. That is always the word of the day. Love yourself. Love somebody. Accept love. Receive love from wherever you can get it. Just like, yes, love on me. It could be that was going to sound funny. I was going to say it could be your neighbor. But we're going to also talk about receiving platonic love and understanding the value in those connections. Because sometimes when we're dating, or even when we're not dating, we don't spend time with people who love spending time with us. And then you add in a pandemic. And so we're talking about how that still raises your vibration.
Right.
Being around people who celebrate you and not just tolerate you.
Amen.
That's important. And then she's going to talk a lot more, because since she's open this year, she's going to have more.
Yeah, I will have content for you guys.
She's going to have, I feel like she'd be slipping. Don't y'all feel like because she's like, nope. And this year she's open. So I think she's going to have something to talk about this year. And then I'm just going to be sitting here like, really? What? And then what did you say?
Tell me more.
And then what did you say? And then what did he say? And then we're going to get to dissect her little heart and little brain. I couldn't wait. Ah! Y'all have been listening. Y'all know I've been waiting on her to be open to something for a while. And I'm excited to be closed to everything. See how that works? Yin and yang.
Balance. It's about balance.
All right. I'm excited about this year. Excited for you guys to take this journey with us. So keep listening. And until next time. Oh, no, he did.
Girl, yes, he did.